Wait a minute, this isn't Ocarina of Time. Where's the better Zelda game?
This is, to this day, still very nostalgic. Hearing that intro. So, Link to the Past! Another one of the most well-known Zelda games going.
What are they gonna do next? Super Mario World? Nah, they're gonna hold off on that forever.
And this is a game that, as we've seen before, I know this game very, very well.
I still remember your April Fool's joke from so long ago where you just glitched to the end, and you were like, oh, that was a thing, and then you just played through the whole game.
I went back and actually did it proper after that. But yeah, I know this game very, very well, and there is at least one series of this game on this channel already. I have speedran this game, though I played the randomizer and speedran the randomizer a lot more than I did vanilla.
One guy's just really short who just fell down during the picture.
He's just kneeling. Oh, holy crap. Sorry, guys, I gotta sit down.
We're old sages, what do you expect?
Look, I'm like 113.
This is Zelda, you can't live that long.
So, as I said though, given how well I know this game, that is why I am not playing.
Yeah, remember that whole... Oh man, that's a skeleton.
That sure is a dead guy.
Remember that whole Metroid thing from a while ago where
This
I
is
just played...
non-canon though, don't worry about it.
What?
This is non-canon, don't worry about it.
The king being dead?
The king being a skeleton. That's just kind of showing you, hey, it's,
Okay, let me get through my explanation first.
Okay, yeah.
Remember when we did Super Metroid some time back and it was my first playthrough?
Yep.
This is basically my first playthrough of this. I played a good chunk of it, but I've never completed it, and I just want to do that. But there's a difference. In Super Metroid, I was okay with you letting me know stuff because that's a lot more of an obtuse game once you explore a little more. This time around, none of that. Because this game is actually pretty good about going like, hey, this is just where all the stuff is. Have fun.
Whereas Super Metroid is more... It expects you to explore. It drops you in, no guidance, and says... You figuring out where to put things is what we're doing. Like, that is the game. This game... No, I wouldn't necessarily call it more linear.
He's gonna be Earlf.
Earlf.
He's like an elf, but he's an Earl.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it more linear, but it does tell you where to go. You have very strict destinations and goals in mind, and it tells you what's going on with that.
It basically tells you, here's your destination points. Go to this one first, and then the other ones you can go in whatever order. You just have to discover where you need to go.
And especially after Zelda 1 and Zelda 2, this being Zelda 3, really set the tone. This set the standard for what, like, almost every Zelda game after this was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so the skeleton isn't the king. What happened to the king, then?
Oh, I mean, it says he's dead, but it also shows him, like, kind of alive at the end.
First of all, spoilers. Earlf, I'm going out for a while. I'll be back by morning. Don't leave the house.
It, like, almost bothers me that you didn't name him Link.
Also, your name's Earlf? What the hell? My sister and her husband were stupid. They named him Earlf.
Yeah,
I was going to
go...
See, the thing was, I was going to go Link, but everyone knows it's Link, and I was just like, I'll just go with a weird name, and I just went like Earl, but then I went like, Earl's not weird enough a name, so I just went like, let's just tack an F on the end. He's just Earl.
Oh man, a lamp!
I got a lamp.
Oh, it do be raining.
I love these old Super NES, like, we gotta show off what the Super NES can do. Oh man, look at the lightning and all the rain and everything.
Yeah, so we saw the story so far. I say that's non-canon. I feel like that's more of a dramatic storytelling kind of deal, where they show that just to kind of symbolize, like, yeah, the king has been taken out. Don't worry, like he's out.
Oh, did I find out like a different way to the castle?
Help me. Yeah, you're pretty restricted as to where you can go, but...
Well, yeah, there's the guys that are just basically
Yeah.
like, this is the opening bit, do this, and then you can do the game.
Yeah, and generally there's not a lot over on that side that you just went to, so I feel like it's a less well-known area that it's even there, but it sure is there. Yeah, but so story-wise, what we have seen thus far is years ago there's a big old war. This is in the intro.
Oh, the imprisoning war.
Yep. Years ago there's a big old war.
That was the first time it gets brought up, and it's like occasionally gets brought up in different games, but it's never the same imprisoning war. It gets brought up in, God, I can't...
How much can you lift?
Yeah, really. It gets brought up in Tears of the Kingdom, but somebody called it Zelda TikTok, and now I'm just stuck calling it Zelda TikTok no matter how much I try. So, yeah, so Tears of the Kingdom, they have their imprisoning war.
Yeah, so
But this is a different imprisoning war.
Yeah, so years ago, big old war, specifically for the Golden Land. Eventually, the wise men showed up and sealed it off because people were getting tired of war.
I love these shapes because it always feels like you just push these two in and just complete the square. But then you can just do something like that.
Now it's hecked up. So moving forward to present day, a wizard named Agnem whose face looks like Porky.
And then you can do that, and if you push it in correctly, you get the correct shape of how you do it in an old Harvest Moon Story Season games. That's right. This is the reason why we got Harvest Moon on here. Yeah, is it Aghanim or Aghanemnon?
Agamem.
Aghanim.
Aghanim.
Aghanim. Oh boy, I wonder which one I'm supposed to lift up.
So, so he showed up, took out the king, kidnapped a bunch of people, and is generally doing bad stuff. You, just some punk. Don't know what's going on.
Uncle, no.
But your uncle grabbed his sword and shield
Earl? Oh.
and said, something is amiss, I'm gonna go investigate. And then we run into him here where he's kind of dying. And we're being telepathically spoken to. Okay, so this is an interesting line.
Everybody
right
loves
here.
this line.
Um,
It's different in the Japanese, right?
yes. If you look, well, it's kind of different.
I think...
If you take the Japanese, because the issue is, of course, that even in the Japanese, he doesn't speak the entire sentence. It gets cut off.
He's dying here, so he dies before he finishes the line.
But sentence structure in Japanese is different than in English. So he speaks... What he says in Japanese can be read a little bit differently than what you see here. What you see here, it sounds like he's going to say Zelda's your sister or something. But in the Japanese, it feels more like he's going to say... Yeah, so people have kind of figured out, I don't know the word I don't remember the word exactly, but people have kind of figured out what the best word to put in there would be to get the point across correctly. But I don't remember. It would be probably better just rewording that phrase because it doesn't lead itself like the Japanese would.
I think the Link to the Past for the Game Boy Advance rewords it.
Which I've also played. Not on the channel, but for myself.
I remember asking to borrowing it, and I liked it, but I didn't play it as far as I'd like to because they did that thing where it's like, oh, we can do this and that for these games. And so every time you swung, it was the kid.
Oh, going
Link.
like.
Yeah, it was the kid Link from Ocarina of Time going. And it's like, I hate to tell you this. I didn't bring it up during Mega Man X, but it's the same thing. If you're going to use voice clips for attacks, make sure your character can't spam the attack, or else you're just going to hear the whole time, because in the Maverick Hunter remake of Mega Man X, they have him do voice lines for them. Special attacks like almost every time you use them.
Oh my goodness. I would riot.
Yeah. It's like, listen, I love me some Domon Kashu, but I'm gonna get annoyed every time Domon Kashu goes, Storm Tornado! Storm Tornado! Storm Tornado! Shut up! Shut up with your shining finger bullshit!
That worked in Ocarina of Time.
Because it was slower.
Because the combat is slower paced, and your attacks are all very methodical and drawn out. In Link to the Past, you just hack at guys a lot. There's a lot more enemies that you hack at more often. It doesn't work.
Yeah. They do something similar for the Game Boy Advance version of Super Mario Bros. 2.
Mm-hmm.
Where like all the characters have voice clips, but it's they're newly recorded voice clips.
Mm.
Oh yeah, just go in. Sorry, I thought there was gonna be like another secret passage.
Nope. Nothing else outside. Take that. Okay, so what we've got of controls, combat, all of that so far,
See, A seems to be your context-sensitive button, Y is your secondary item, and B is your attack with thing, and then X is map.
So we have rupees up top. You can get them from killing enemies or bushes or whatnot.
Kill the bushes.
Kill that bush. You also have your sword and shield. Your shield can block enemy projectiles, but not all of them.
It's automatics, unless you like...
Yes, it's completely automatic. They just have to hit the front of you.
Yeah,
But so if they hit like your side, it doesn't count.
For stuff like this, you can actually block while you're charging,
yeah,
but it's only to the side.
Yeah, since you're holding the shield to your side, you can block to that side now. You also picked up your sword, which you use to hack at enemies. You can charge it up to do the swing. I forget if the swing does more damage. I think it does.
I think it does, but if you don't... Like, I think you have to clip them with the whole sword. Like, I don't think it's one of those, like, you clip them with the edge and it counts.
You also have a magic meter in the upper left, and you picked up the lamp before coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of things will consume mana, some things that make more sense than others. You can use the lamp to light torches, which you did before. Doing that does consume a little bit of mana. That's depressing.
Yeah, see, the thing was, is in the beta version of this game, all the guys here, how they have, like, you can see through the face masks and everything, they originally had normal human faces.
Yeah.
And, like, the implication was you were just attacking and killing normal soldiers. And they went like, that might be a little harsh for these kids. Let's back that off a bit. So then they put in the, maybe they're not the real soldiers. Ooh. But yes, I am killing people. Probably humans.
Murder.
Yes, is exactly what Zelda wants you to do, is murder people.
And you're killing all of these people, too, so once we finish saving the world and everything, there's just going to be, like, no guards in all of Hyrule.
Yep, nope, Hyrule is screwed if it gets attacked. We'll have no armed forces.
So yeah, magic meter, lamp, couple things consume magic, but you can light things with the lamp like torches. That does consume a little bit of magic, a little bit weird, don't worry about it too much. The lamp also lets you see in darkened areas, which is, I feel like, almost interesting that they programmed in having to have the lamp in order to be able to see in the dark, given that they give you the lamp before you even leave the house. But I guess, like, if you want to, you can leave without getting the lamp. You're not going to get very far because you don't have a way to light torches. Which is a puzzle-solving mechanic, not just being able to see in the dark.
Yeah. There might have been a thing where it, like, blocked you because they were like, oh, you need the torch. Or you need the lantern. Hey, I got a key.
Ooh. And a map!
I got a map!
So the soldiers that we've seen so far, the one with the longer sword sticking out will actively charge you. And if you swing at him and hit his sword, you both kind of clink off of each other. You have to, like, sort of weasel around and hit him on his side without the sword.
It's very Dark Nut from Zelda 1.
And I remember they brought that back in... Was it Link Between Worlds?
For the 3DS one?
The painting one.
Yeah, that's Link Between Worlds.
Yeah. I remember they brought that back for them, and that absolutely did not work in that game. Because, like, here, they are always facing on one of the 4 axes, so you can kind of maneuver yourself in a way to be able to hit their open side. But in Link Between Worlds, they're always looking directly at you, so you can't, like, maneuver your sword different. You're always looking at them in the same way. So they ended up just being a massive pain in the butt. Pots are one of the most powerful weapons in the game.
I mean, if you got a pot thrown at you, would you survive?
Not even joking. Pick up a pot, chuck it at an enemy. It is one of the most powerful weapons in the game. Oh, but you see that staircase going up over top there? You could have gone up in that way and avoided the whole fight. Yeah, kind of a quick way back, but nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. So, over the previous games, another thing that Link to the Past did is added, like, layers. I think there's only 2 layers maximum, but there'll be, like, an upper floor and a lower floor, which you saw there with the staircase. And you typically can't interact with things on a floor lower than you. And they can't interact with you.
Go on.
Nah, that was about it.
Oh, that was about it?
Yeah.
Probably something Mode 7 related.
I'm sure.
Is everything Mode 7? Yes, everything was Mode 7.
Everything. Super Nintendo did something kind of interesting that the NES didn't. Probably Mode 7.
I got a boomerang.
It's Boomerang. Boomerang is a good standby because it doesn't consume, like, magic or ammunition or anything. And it's just a nice little, yeah, you can just throw a boomerang. Collect items, hit a guy with it, it stuns him for a second. Doesn't go very far, though.
You were up a layer. I've lost you forever.
So I think if you're on the upper layer and you throw the boomerang at someone on the lower layer, it'll just go over their head. But if you are on the upper layer, throw the boomerang, then go down to the lower layer, I wonder if the boomerang could hit somebody on the lower layer at that point. Is the ball and chain guy, I don't know what his official name is.
Dead now.
Yep. If you don't have something ranged, like, say, one of the convenient pots, he's actually kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. Not like hard, tedious than anything.
Thank you, Earl. Earl? Really? Yes, that's my name. Let's just get this over with, folks. He's the one who named me. He.
I don't like it. Can I call you something else?
No. My name is Earl Link von Smirnoff. Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense unless you've been watching everything. I'm just gonna call you Link. Link, listen carefully. Damn it. Nobody likes Earl for some reason.
Look, I'm just gonna use your middle name.
Hey, this is that song from Ocarina what they use.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think Ocarina of Time ripped off Zelda.
An inhuman fiend? You mean he's not human?
No, I just think he's just a really bad person who's just doing awful things. He's probably human. Probably.
That's... So you're just saying that something that's not human is objectively evil and bad? That's inhumanist.
That's Inhumanoids. The evils that lie within.
And now we got a princess in tow. She doesn't really do much.
Is your name really Earl? Yes, it's Earl. Oh my god, everybody's gonna ask this the whole time, aren't they?
God dang it. Look, princess, can you just, like, be quiet until we get back if that's the only thing you're gonna talk about?
It's just a really weird name. Listen, my parents just named me it. I just went with it. I can't legally change my name. You can legally change your name. What?
And this is where you can glitch to the end of the game if you really want to.
Nah.
See how angry I can make everybody again.
Up. Later, losers. Damn it.
Also, something of note is... And I mentioned Super Metroid not only because, like...
Because I mentioned it.
I'm not only because, like, yeah, I like Super Metroid, and know it very well, but also because something I'm very familiar with is the Super Metroid Link to the Past crossover randomizer, which I've also played a considerable amount, and speedran a considerable amount. So playing both games together in one kind of highlights some of the differences between the two. And the one that I think of almost immediately is...
Wait, was that the princess? Did he have the princess up there?
The one I think of almost immediately is death in Super Metroid is rough.
Death in Legend of Zelda? Nobody cares.
Yeah, you die in Super Metroid, you get title screen. Hope you saved recently, because that's what you're back at. Death in Link to the Past is kind of a slap on the wrist. I think you keep everything, and you just get sent back to a checkpoint depending on where it is that you died. And you have like 3 hearts. This is the lamp, by the way. If you don't have the lantern, you're just in pitch black. Which is real fun in randomizers. You walk into a room and go, just want to see, just want to see, please just let me see. I got to the point where I memorized how to get around almost every room in the game in the dark. Because it's faster! You can go... I can just go!
Ah! Snakes. By snakes, I mean ropes. Ropes of snakes.
Another neat thing that the torch can do, as you see there, not only can it light lanterns, which we've mentioned before, but lighting the lanterns actually does light up the room. Gradually at that. If there's 2 lamps, then lighting the first one only like half lights the room.
Gotta show off those mechanics somehow.
So when you die, where you are sent back to depends on where you are. It is typically... If you're on the overworld, you will get sent back to... usually like a single hub spot.
I think it's your house.
Like your house. If you are inside of a dungeon, where this does count as a dungeon, you have a map and everything, you are sent back to the entrance of the dungeon. So like you're not even back that far, you just go back in.
I remember those rats are annoying because they actually steal your rupees.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
I've never been hit by them.
If you get hit by them, they steal your rupees.
Or at least I've never been hit by them while I had rupees that I cared about.
You You and I have differing ideas of how to deal with money.
It's the start of the game. I don't care about money right now.
I have a house to buy after all this.
There are a couple places in the game where you can just get a ton of money if you really need it. You can also go to... Not that this is something I would expect anybody who isn't practiced in it to be able to do, but you can also go to the contest winners room.
Oh yeah, I accidentally ran in one of those.
Yeah, you can also go there, which has, I forget how much, something like 200 rupees in it or something.
That's a lot. That's from the previous room.
Yeah, that room is actually only accessible...
It's an error.
Yeah, that room is... It's a little bit sad because it's... Like, for being the contest winner, you can't actually get to it. There's no way in-game to legitimately get to it. It's a glitch, effectively. An error. We have figured out how to reliably get there, but effectively, whenever you go into a overworld doorway, the game knows where to send you based on where your camera is. So there is... I'm sure there's multiple ways, but there's one way specifically that I know how to do reliably that will set it up so you can enter a passageway when the camera is not aligned with anything that the game knows where to put a door. Like, just at this very specific location, you can go in a door, and the game does not know where to send you if you go in a door at that exact location. And doing that is what sends you to the room.
Like how she says, pull that switch over there, and you're like...
Over where?
Yeah, which one? I said, over there. Which one? Over there, Earls. Right, I have to get saucy with my name there. I was kind of hoping I pulled the wrong one. So we'll do it anyway.
Pulling the wrong one drops snakes!
I believe you mean ropes.
And as they showed there, you can grab stuff and pull it and push it.
Actually,
there's
like,
a grab button.
One of the soldiers actually told you that if you just kept walking.
Oh, and that's how
around.
you. It's the same way you pick up bushes.
Yeah.
And stuff. Same way you pick up bushes. Same way you open chests. It's your interact button. Walk up to a wall, interact with it, and you grab the wall, and then you can push forward back to push or pull the wall. Not that you're gonna move that wall anytime soon, but.
I keep calling him Wizard. I wonder if he's supposed to be something else.
Hmm.
Because, like, they call this the Sanctuary, but it's actually, like, a church.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, like, when they're in the middle of their whole... You know, we can't be too overly religious kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is why you don't get Shin Megami Tensei until the third game on the PS2.
I feel like Wizard is pretty representative.
I know.
I don't know what else they would call him, like...
Vizier. I feel like he's supposed to be like the King's Council or something like that.
No, I feel like Agnem just kind of showed up.
Does he just show up?
I think he just kind of showed up.
I think he shows up, but wasn't he supposed to be like the King's Council for a bit?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think he was. I think he just, like... All right, boys!
This is the first time we've heard of any Master Sword.
Oh, boy.
I did not see the R at the end of there, so I thought it said, but watch you every move. I was like, did they miss that? That doesn't seem like something you'd miss. This is an early read.
Yeah, I think the white sword in the original NES one was originally theorized to be the Master Sword, but I think since then, and we've just said, no,
Yeah.
it's just a magic sword.
Due to the
I don't remember exactly.
Due to the events of this game, like, the Master Sword's not used anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, like, the white sword is just a different sword, a
Mhm.
different magical sword. But
And then in Zelda 2, you're just using the same
Yeah,
the
you-
white sword from Zelda 1.
Yeah, that's why you don't get any weapon upgrades.
You're already using the best sword in the game, which is real crappy, all things considered.
Well, apparently you're grown up now, so you have to get strong and swole to deal with everything.
Okay, gotta go talk to the elder in the village.
I guess I can
How
save
do you know
her.
I can say it? Well, I mean, Zelda was talking to us telepathically, so she may know something about us that we don't. Heck yeah, fourth much-needed heart.
Does Link know he's descended from the Knights of Hyrule, or is that just a thing for the background?
I think he does.